Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Shekinah, aka the Perfect Therapist, and this is another episode of Support the Journey. So this is a mini series dedicated to help us navigate that journey to joy we've been talking about, right? So today I want to talk a little bit more about the conversation of grief, but I wanted to talk about how grief is intermingled with mental health disorders. So a lot of times when we have experiences of grief, we can have these symptoms of other mental health disorders like anxiety, depression, PTSD, things like that. And that's why it's so important that we acknowledge the grief, because we have to acknowledge the residual effects of that grief as well and make sure that we're providing ourselves with the type of support that we need. And unless we're like being super duper proactive about our mental health and things like that, it can be really easy for this to fall through the cracks. So I want to kind of like further give you some more information about how that and what that can look like. So first I want to start with explaining the difference between a mental health disorder and a mental health episode. A mental health disorder is typically categorized by the DSM-5, and it'll have every disorder has a different level of different traits and things like that help us identify if you have a diagnosis. But the biggest part about these things you want to realize is that it interrupts your everyday function, and you're typically experiencing symptoms every single day for 2 weeks straight, right? And then on top of that, everyday function, I mean, like you can't go to work, you can't function on your daily activity. It interrupts to that extreme. And when we're talking about those mental health episodes, these are episodes of it. These symptoms aren't as extreme. They have a shorter time span, and they might be more so triggered or started by other traumatic events. So such as the loss of a family member or close friend, or some type of major experience that can lead us to have these moments of or episodes of these other symptoms. So I kind of wanted to make sure we're clear on that part. A lot of times people can get this too confused, or just because you're experiencing symptoms right here, they'll identify that, okay, maybe I have this particular disorder. It might not be that. You might just be having an episode and then eventually get to a certain space. Now, I do want to also say this. The biggest and most important part of all of this, okay, is that you need to partner with a mental health professional so you can figure out where you land on this. There are assessments that we do on a regular basis. There are all types of support and treatment that we can give you related to that. And it doesn't even necessary, if you need medication is necessary, that yes, do that. But there's also a lot of other coping strategies and skills that we can use to help you navigate these different symptoms you might be experiencing according to these disorders, right? Or according to these episodes that you might be experiencing. So again, to reiterate, there's a difference between a mental health disorder and a mental health episode. Disorders interrupt your everyday life. They are a more permanent symptom base. They have consistent things that are happening, and it's daily, and it's for at least 2 weeks. And it's usually defined by anything, or different disorders are defined by the DSM-5, and it needs an assessment typically to diagnose and a professional to diagnose. Okay, self-diagnosis is not. We don't need to be doing that. Do not self-diagnose. That's not what this is for. Okay, but this is for you to get some general information so that you can start to be aware, this is something I might need to ask my therapist about, or ask my primary care physician about, or get more information about. And okay, if you need more information and more support about that, okay, I'm directly available via the Purpose Joy website. There's forums on there. There's all types of information to help you navigate that space, but you got to be able to identify those two things. So the main point of this today is that we're trying to tackle grief, because grief is not just grief by itself, all right? This experience has all these other ripple effects that can be attached to it, including the potential of experiencing certain disorders and certain mental health symptoms, okay? So we want to make sure that we're being as proactive as possible by identifying if we're experiencing any type of grief, so we can start to tackle these spaces too. That makes sense? All right, so what I want you to do is, again, do that self-reflection time. Identify what those things look like, and partner yourself with a mental health professional that can provide you with some more support. If you feel like you might have been experiencing something for 2 weeks, the biggest way, easiest way to do that is to habit track. Get you a journal, right? If you think that you've been feeling a little off, journal what's going on daily. I'ma always talk about self-reflection and identifying that stuff by journaling it. It's a game changer every single time. Just writing down how you felt today. What was it that you experienced? What were the highest point of your day, and what was the lowest point of your day? What were some of the thoughts you were having? Okay. And I will also be remiss to mention, or out of pocket if I didn't mention, that if you are having any type of struggles with anything, if you find yourself feeling like an overwhelming sense of hopelessness, or find yourself in a place of crisis, 988 is the crisis hotline for the whole entire country. 988. Okay, you can call and locate that hotline. And if you need some extra support with that, again, I'm available. You can hop on our website. You can send me a DM, whatever you need to do to make sure that we get you the support that you need. Okay. I hope this was helpful for you. This y'all, I'm telling you, equip yourself with knowledge, okay? Make sure that you have what you need so you can get the type of support that you need and advocate for yourself in the way that you need to. If you identify with whatever I'm saying today, get the support that you need, okay? And if you need help getting it, let me know so we can get you where you need to be. All right, and this is Shekinah, aka the Purpose Therapist. This was another episode of Support the Journey. And like I said, head over to our page, subscribe, be a part of our newsletter, be a part of our community, our forum, get some extra support. There's courses coming soon, so go ahead and tap in. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.